I don't like camping, all right? I know that's not a popular thing to say here in front of you people and back there in front of the woods, so I apologize. But, whatever high that you people get by going out into the woods and pretending you're homeless, okay, I got a hold of some bad shit, all right? Just say that. But, and hiking, correct me if I'm wrong, Meredith, that's just walking without pavement, right? Okay, all right, gotcha. So, camping is just living without stuff, stuff I know that I had back in my apartment. But anyway, so a couple of my buddies, Meat, Watt, and Tony, convinced me to go with them on a weekend of camping for Friday night and Saturday night, sandwiched around a whitewater rafting trip, which is not something that I can do in the confines of my apartment. So this whole package cost $35. I said, okay, I'll suffer through camping, and reluctantly agreed to go rafting on the Yakagani River, a guided tour. So we're on our way there when I see a sign. Okay, this sign says, "Black fight back, brown lay down." Does anybody here know what that means? Okay, good. You're nodding. And see, for those of you that don't, that is what to do to fend off a bear attack. A fucking bear attack, okay? Now, maybe it only happens once every 1,000 years, but the mere fact that there's a sign there heightens my sense of panic at least 2 degrees, all right? I'm like, really? That's a possibility, okay? And I just read The Secret. And if you don't know what that is, that means I'm thinking that my thoughts are now going to manifest themselves in the form of a bear outside, and I can't stop thinking about it now. And I'm thinking about, I'm thinking about not bear, but that's bear, and there's bear. So all night, I'm like, oh my god. And so I tried to consciously think of something else. Only thing that came to mind, the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. So now I'm going to worry about a bear and a giant 11-story marshmallow, and I don't have a knife, let alone a proton pack. I have a plastic sport to fend myself off with. And yeah, lie down, all right, I'm sorry, Mr. Sign, you can lie the fuck down, all right? There's not an instinct in my body that says, oh, here comes a half-ton creature, I know, I'm gonna take it. Okay? And there's nothing on there about grizzlies, okay? There's no mnemonic device for grizzly. I'm like, grizzly, I don't know, make them dizzy, maybe that's what you're supposed to do. But it's not like there were name tags, so if I see a brown bear, I'm like rolling the dice, I'm like, oh, okay, I'll just lie down, and then he's gonna walk up to me, I'm a grizzly bear, you screwed up, you should have run in circles, I'm pissed. So anyway, needless to say, I slept in the porta potty that night. I got up, thankfully unmauled by a bear, or a giant marshmallow, but with exactly 0 hours sleep, and we made our way down to the river embankment. We went through our 7-minute VHS tape training. Apparently a 7-minute, 20-year-old VHS tape is all that's required for training for the people that are stupid enough to put themselves in an inflated raft and go down a treacherous river. So we got our safety briefing on our way down to the river, and the safety briefing was, okay, we're like this at all times. All right, make sure if you ever get separated from your raft that you have your feet up and are floating downriver with your feet first, or else you'll get foot trapped and the current will push you under and you'll die. Okay, Dimple Rock. Dimple Rock is a 5-class rapid, all right? And so when you hit Dimple Rock, you're going to want to lean into the rock. And I'm like, lean into the rock? That doesn't make any sense. Does it? I didn't did it at the time. It's like if somebody tries to throw a right hook, you lean into it. But I don't turn into skids either, so what the hell do I know? All right, so we start walking down. We signed some papers that said we were all CPR and first aid certified, though I'm sure none of us were. And I'm like, tell me, what does it mean, like class 5 rapid? I don't know, how do they measure that? He goes, by the number of deaths. What? And I later found out the asshole was lying, but didn't help my heightened sense of panic, which was now complicated by the fact that when we got down to the riverbank, the guide said, all right, good luck, and he left. Apparently this was not a guided tour, and Meatwad had sold me a false bill of goods, all right? And not only that, but we tried to get I was going to pay the extra $50 for the guided tour, not an option at this point, and we split up the rafts into, still doesn't make sense to me, experience level. Like, kind of like, hey, you guys look and see what we do, and it'll be fine. So, this was it. This is how I go. I looked into the glass eye of the witch, and it was Dimple Rock. All right? And that's not even a cool sounding rapid. It's like, not like lion's fang, you know, it's a dimple rock, you know. So we get in our raft, we don't get more than 10 minutes into our trip, and we get stuck on this rock that everybody else was able to circumnavigate, and I don't know what to do. We're bouncing up and down on top of the thing like the tape told us to. We're trying to push off with the oars like the tape told us not to. It didn't work. And so I find myself actually out of the raft, yanking on the ropes of the raft, trying to get it loose, and with absolutely no plan for if I actually succeed in this endeavor. And it was then that I looked over at the embankment, and there was a wooden cross there with a bear winking at me. And it's like, oh my God, you know, I'm pretty sure the rest of my life up until this point has been some weird Ambrose Bierce, like, false reality thing, and real Dustin Fisher's lying dead on a rock, you know, with his head split open. And I'm pretty sure if you look at that cross really closely, it says, R.I.P. Dustin Fisher. He should have gotten the $85 tour. But here I am, maybe, and we're floating down towards Dimple Rock. We catch up with the rest of the caravan, and we decide to go in order of experience, again, the watch and learn technique. So the most experienced people go, the professionals, boom, circumnavigated, they're fine, perfect. All right, next group, meat watch group. He goes, boom, fine, makes it look easy. Third group, Tony's group. He goes, and this is the raft that the Dimple decides to take as penance for man's idiocy. Okay? They flip over, everybody goes flying out of the raft, all the oars, all the water bottles, everything in the raft, they're all gone. And now us, with no experience at all, have turned from a survival mission into a rescue mission. Right? None of us know CPR. We don't have any equipment. All right, we're floating down, like, I don't even know first aid. I still have to call my mom when I get a sore throat. All right, and now I'm going to try to save these people. So, you know, I'm like, all right, first thing that I think is this is now going to be a class 6 rapid. So, we're going to appreciate the origin of species on a different level. I'm like, this is, yeah, we're gazelles floating down towards lion's fang here. And so here we go, and here comes the rock, and we lean into it, which now makes a lot of sense. You know, you lean away, you go like that, you lean into it, boom, and bounce off. So, and we find the rest of our crew, thankfully, all but Tony. They're all hanging onto rocks, we're looking for Tony. He's apparently downstream, floating, feet up, as he should be, and white as a ghost. Because apparently Dimple Rock is an undercut rock, and which means that it sucks people under, and it keeps going around like that until you're lucky enough to push out. So he was. No worse for the wear, we'll say, at least physically. And to this day, we still all go rafting. That was my first time. I have actually led a trip down to the Ocoee of college kids to go rafting. And in fact, a group of us is going next weekend. You're all invited. But I'm the guy, so yeah, beware. And so yeah, we're really looking forward. Well, Tony actually does not participate. He actually still wears a helmet and life vest when we go over the 14th Street Bridge. So, all right, thank you all for coming.